Hello everyone, just a quick video, and my intention for this video is to help anyone who's interested in buying a multifamily property. Basically, when I started thinking about buying a multifamily property, I didn't know where to start. I went to YouTube and I got a lot of vague answers. Basically, I mean, some was good, but some wasn't really specific to my needs. But basically, the first thing you have to do, obviously, is you have to have the idea to want to be able to do it, and then you have to kind of. So number one is the thought. Number two is working your way backwards. So what I did, for example, at the time when I bought my first property, it was 2016. It was I was looking at 4 families or 3 families, and at the time in Massachusetts, you could get some for around 400,000. So I knew I was going to need at least 15,000 to start. So what I did basically is I said, okay, I need 15,000. I divided 15,000 by 26, which is the amount of paychecks that I receive in a year. I get paid bi-weekly for my full-time day job, which was at the time I was working at a bank. And I forgot the amount that it came out to. But whatever that amount was, that amount went into my savings account. And no matter what, I did not touch it. And I just forced myself to live off of the rest. And whatever your circumstance is, you will adjust to the difference. So that's what I did for a whole year. I did that actually, because it took me about a year for me to get my finances straight, get my credit straight, and to pay down my debt. So I guess that would be step number 2. Step number 2 would be, 1, you need an idea. 2, you need to work on 3 things simultaneously. Fixing your credit, or getting your credit to where it needs to be. Saving the money for the down payment and closing costs. And you got to pay down debt. Every time, whatever you have in your credit that you're paying towards, a car, credit cards, student loans, personal loans, whatever money you're paying towards those things is going to take away from your buying power to buy the property. So it took me a year. It might take you 3 months, 3 weeks, depending on where you're at. 3 years. But everybody got their own situation. But that's how I did it. And when I was working at the bank, I ran into a lady who owned maybe 5 properties at the moment. And she said the best way to go about learning more about it is to get your real estate license. Now, I'm not saying you have to get your real estate license, but I got my real estate license in the meantime. So I just learned more about everything. So I was like a big sponge at the time. So let me adjust this. So I got my license. I went with a broker. Once you get your license, any broker is going to pretty much take you. Give or take. And when I found the house, I found a 4-family in Fall River, Massachusetts. At the time, it was a 4-family for $290,000, which sounds insane. Now prices, it's triple, but now you won't be able to find anything like that. But at the time, that's what it was. You don't have to do this, but in a lot of places say that they don't recommend it, but I represented myself in the deal. So you have a seller's agent, the person selling the house. Normally you would have a buyer's agent, a real estate agent that you will hire. I represented myself. The bad part about that is you become kind of too attached to the property, and you might just agree on anything because you just want it so bad because you're negotiating with yourself. You're telling yourself you're your client. You're the agent and the client. The good part about that is when I bought the property, I received obviously the buyer's commission for the agent, me, and I also received, the security deposits, the last month's rent for the property as the owner now, me, and I closed at the end of the month, and then the next day was the first of the month. That's where rent was due, so I got more money. So it was a good 24 hours. Unknowingly, when I closed on the property, and then after I closed, the bank is like 5 minutes from the property. I drove over to the property to introduce myself to everybody, which I kind of met earlier when I was doing the walkthrough and everything. I went to go introduce myself to everyone, and the tenant on the first floor was actually moving out, which was a surprise to me because at no point did she mention this when I was looking at the property. And of course, the seller, he was there at the closing with me a half an hour prior. At no point did he mention that the tenant's moving out, which I'm pretty sure she told him, but I get it. So that was my first kind of headache. Buying a property, you're excited, you drive over to the property, and someone's already moving out. So now you have to prepare to, solve that problem, because that's one less rent that I'm going to be receiving. So I would do a whole different story on that, next. I would love this, if you could do that one too. So like I said, hopefully this was kind of helpful. If you have any questions, you can always inbox me. I answer back everyone. This is kind of a new thing that I'm doing because I'm looking to help people who are looking to buy property. I'm looking to help people who are looking to, once they buy it, maintain it and keep the property. Because no one ever talks about that part about it. Oh, buy the property, you're gonna make an extra $100 a month, $1,000 a month, and you buy 10 more, then it's all good. No, it doesn't quite work like that. Half the struggle is, getting good tenants. In my case, when I bought the property, it's a 4-family. Out of the 4, I had one good tenant, and the rest I eventually had to get rid of. So like I said, I'll do another short story on those situations. But yeah, like I said, hopefully it was helpful. If you gain any value from this, please subscribe and like. It's a journey that I'm going on, and I would like to bounce ideas off of people, get suggestions, because I still currently own it. I'm looking to acquire more property, and that was funny because when I first acquired this property in 2016, I thought by now, it's 2024, today's the 2nd of January, that I would have at least 3 properties by now. And I learned a few things along the way that I'm going to try to use moving forward. But also, like I said, I'm just looking to help anybody who has any ideas or looking to buy property, and also who I could get ideas from also, because, we all a work in progress. So, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was kind of helpful. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.